Alright, hello and welcome to Steel Picking. This is Aaron, and we're going to continue our study on my guitar that I have, my Justice guitar, and some of the knee levers that I have. Some of them are common. I have the four most common, but I've got some extra knee levers. And so what I thought I'd do, I'm simply starting on the left side of my guitar, working across, and maybe give you some insight on some of the different pulls maybe you don't have on your guitar. If you're interested in adding maybe a fifth knee lever, we actually did a video on that, talking about the B to B flat knee lever, which is probably one that would be very useful if you do add an extra. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knee levers on the E9 tuning on the neck. So I'm just going to start over there, go across, show you some of the licks that I use and do with those knee levers. Maybe give you some, maybe an incentive, or maybe get you to want to check out putting on a new knee lever on your guitar. So with that, let's get started. This is going to be, I have this on my left leg going left. I have an E to F knee lever, which we talked about in a previous video. But also on that knee, I have another knee lever. They're staggered, and that's going to raise my first and seventh string a whole tone from F sharp to G sharp, and it's also going to raise my second string from E flat to E. And I'll show you some licks and kind of the way I use those use that knee lever. All right, so let's get started. All right, let's continue our study on the knee levers I've got on this Justice guitar of mine. Like I said in the intro, what I'm doing with my left going left, I've got two knee levers on that leg. So I have them staggered. The front one, or one closest to the front of the guitar, is an E to F, and the one right behind it is raising my first string and my seventh string from F sharps to G sharps. It's also raising that second string from E flat to E. Now we're just, as a reference, I'm going to be out of the key of G, and I'm going to show you some things that you can do with that. Out of the no pedals position, in other words, at third fret is G, you can do some licks with that knee lever. Okay, so what you can do there, if you have that knee lever, you can play 1 and 2 with that raised, release it, play 4 and 5 with the A pedal down, release A pedal. So A pedal is the one that raises your fifth string a whole tone. So we can do licks right there out of the position with no pedals, no knee levers. So if we're playing a G, it'd be third fret. So we're using that as a kind of like for licks. Now also, I use it for two other things. If I wanted to play a G minor, I can go to my third fret, press my A pedal, and I can play using that knee lever now. Okay, so it works real well, again, as another lick, raising that when you're in the pedals position for your minor. So if I go to the 6th fret, play 5, 6, and 8 with my A pedal down, that's a G minor. I play 2, 4, 1, then I raise 1 and 2 with the knee lever. Okay, it's a very effective lick. Also, it's real easy. Okay, so I'm using that knee lever, raising 1 and 2, 1 a whole tone, 2 a half tone, out of the minor position. Okay, so now let's look at our pedals down position for G. So if I go to my 10th fret, press A and B pedals down, and pick any of the major groups, I have a G major chord. Okay, now with that knee lever, I can have a G major 7th here. Okay, so what I do, I said it raises the 7th string a whole tone. It's raising our 1st string a whole tone, it's raising our 2nd string a half tone. So pedals down position, add 7, then raise it with that knee lever, that's a G major 7. Okay, so I can also add 1 and 2. Okay, so that gives me a G major 7th in my pedals down position. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a lick using it. Okay, so the lick is, we start out at the 15th fret, play 2 and 4. My 2nd string is raised with that knee lever. So you got a unison, that's 2 G notes. Release the knee lever. Play 4 and 5 with the A pedal down. Go back to the 13th fret, 4 and 5 with the ED flat knee lever. Then go to my 10th fret, A and B pedals down, pick 4, 5, and 6. And I did some other things, but here at the 10th fret, you can pick 4 and 2, then raise that 2nd string. And that would sound like. You see how that's effective? I could go, you know, I could play it like that, but I'm right here in this pedals down position. Same thing here. And it's a real pretty, real effective lick. It's real easy to do. So let's recap what we're going to do in this lesson. You have licks that you can play with that knee lever in the no pedals position at the 3rd fret. Okay, you can use that knee lever out of your minor position. So G minor would be at the 6th fret, A pedal down. Okay, you have licks with that knee lever at the pedals down position. So G at our 10th fret would be A and B pedals down at the 10th. Okay, and this gives you, with the knee lever, you get a major 7th, G major 7th. Okay, then I showed you a lick. Showed you how you could do that using it as for licks. But a lot of times, like I said, when I play at church, we do a lot of contemporary music, a lot of major 7ths. And I use that knee lever in that kind of setting because it works real well. It's almost like a keyboard voicings. works real well. So anyhow, if you want to consider another knee lever, this one is raising 1 7 a whole tone, 2 a half, and it's one that you'll use. It's a good knee lever to think about. So we'll stop here. And the next knee lever that I have on my guitar will have a vertical knee lever, one that I push up with my knee, and that's going to be lowering 5 and 10. And that's not a real uncommon knee lever, but it's another good one that you might want to think about. So hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. All right, as always, just behalf of Jacob and I just want to thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That way when we post, you'll get an alert for our new uploads that we've done. And I hope you enjoyed this video showing you maybe a new knee lever that you don't have on your guitar. And also, you know, there's so much music that you can play on one with just 3 and 4. And I've talked about that before with a lot of the great players. And Lloyd Green comes to mind. You know, there's so much music on one of these things. It's just how hard you want to dig for it and look for it. But what I use knee levers for are maybe just to within one position. In other words, I'm not having to move up and down to get those same notes. I can stay pretty close to 1 fret position and get a lot of different sounds with those knees. So hopefully this helped you. And as always, just want to thank you and keep picking.